Tesco made £2.3 billion in profit last year. Sainsbury's pulled in £966 million. And they did it by counting on one thing: that you do not know the rules. Because British supermarkets operate under consumer protection laws that give you rights at the checkout, most staff hope you never discover. Number 14 on this list has been confirmed legal by trading standards, but store managers will look at you like you have stolen the crown jewels. And number 3 exploits a pricing loophole that supermarkets have quietly tried to close for over a decade and failed. These 25 tricks are not illegal, not even close. But they are so effective that if every pensioner in Britain used them, the Big Four would lose millions overnight. Before we start, hit subscribe because what you are about to learn changes the way you shop forever. Let us count them down. Number 25, the price match guarantee claim. Every major supermarket runs a price match scheme, but almost nobody actually claims it. Aldi price match at Tesco, Asda price lock, Sainsbury's Aldi match. The trick is knowing that price match guarantees often cover items that were cheaper at the competitor at the time of your shop but have since changed. Most pensioners assume the price on the shelf is the price. It is not. If you bought 6 matched items and 3 were cheaper at Aldi that week, you are owed the difference. Tesco's scheme adjusts automatically on club card items, but Sainsbury's requires you to check the app. A careful shopper comparing just 10 items a week saves between £2 and £4 every single trip. Over a month, that is £16 most people leave on the table because they did not check a screen for 30 seconds. The irony is staggering. Supermarkets spend millions advertising these schemes to get you through the door, then rely on the fact that you will not bother to claim what they promised. They bank on apathy. Do not give it to them. Number 24. The short-dated yellow sticker strategy. Yellow sticker reductions happen at predictable times in every store. Tesco typically reduces at 7 p.m. Sainsbury's starts between 5 and 6 p.m. Morrison's often begins mid-afternoon around 3 p.m. The trick is not just showing up at the right time. It is knowing that a second round of reductions happens roughly 90 minutes after the first. Staff come back with the gun and slash prices again, sometimes to 10 pence for items that were £3 that morning. Pensioners who learn their local store's exact rhythm, and it varies by branch, not just chain, can fill a basket with protein, bread and dairy for under £5. That is a full day of meals for the price of a coffee. One woman in Sheffield told me she has not paid full price for chicken in 3 years. She knows her Morrison's reduces the meat counter at exactly 3:15 p.m. on weekdays. She is there at 3:10 with her bag ready. The staff know her by name. They are not annoyed. They are relieved someone is taking perfectly good food instead of watching it go in the skip. Number 23. The weighing loophole on loose produce. When you place bananas or apples on the self-checkout scale, the machine prices them by weight. But here is what most people miss. Pre-packed bags of the same fruit are priced per bag, not per weight. Sometimes a pre-packed bag of 6 apples costs £1.50, while 6 loose apples at the scale rings up at £2.10. Other times, it is the reverse. The trick is checking both options every single time. 5 seconds of comparison on the same fruit saves between 30 pence and £1 per item. Across a weekly shop of 8 or 9 produce items, that is a quiet £4 to £5 nobody notices slipping away. Number 22. Requesting the overcharge refund. This is the one cashiers rarely mention. If an item scans at a higher price than the shelf label, you're entitled to the correct lower price under consumer protection law. But here is where it gets interesting. Some supermarkets, including Morrison's and Asda, operate an informal policy where you get the item free or at a significant discount if the pricing error is their fault. You have to ask, politely, clearly, at the customer service desk. Most staff will honor it to avoid a formal complaint. The trick is photographing the shelf label before you reach the till. That 15-second habit turns pricing errors from an annoyance into genuine savings. Regular shoppers catch 1 or 2 a month. That adds up to between £3 and £8 saved on items you were buying anyway. Number 21. The club card price without the card. Tesco club card prices offer massive discounts, sometimes 50% off. But millions of pensioners shop without one because they do not want to carry another card or deal with the app. Here is the trick. You do not need the physical card. You do not even need a smartphone. Any Tesco cashier can apply a temporary club card at the till if you ask. Some stores keep a staff card under the counter for exactly this situation. Alternatively, the person behind you in the queue almost certainly has a club card. Ask them to scan it. They get the loyalty points and you get the discount. Both of you win. On a £40 shop, club card prices can save between £6 and £9. Walking past those yellow labels without claiming them is like leaving a fiver on the floor every week. Tesco knows exactly what they are doing. The club card system is designed to harvest your shopping data. That is the trade. But if you are going to be tracked anyway, you might as well get paid for it. The pensioners who refuse on principle are the only ones losing out, because Tesco collects the data from your payment card regardless. Number 20. The substitution upgrade on online orders. When you order groceries for delivery, the supermarket's substitution policy becomes your best friend. If your chosen item is out of stock, they must offer a substitute of equal or greater value at no extra cost. Smart shoppers deliberately order items they know sell out quickly, budget own-brand tins, specific flavors that go fast, because the substitution is almost always a premium brand at the budget price. Tesco and Sainsbury's both state in their delivery terms that substitutions will be equal or better quality. If you do not like the swap, refuse it and they take it back for free. Either way, you win. Pensioners doing weekly delivery shops report upgrading 3 or 4 items per order, saving the equivalent of £2 to £3 in quality they would never normally buy. Number 19. Buying by unit price, not shelf price. The small print on every shelf label in Britain shows the unit price. That is the cost per kilogram, per litre, or per 100 grams. Supermarkets know most shoppers look at the big number, the total price, and ignore the small one. But the unit price is where the truth hides. A 500g box of cereal for £3.20 looks cheaper than the 1 kilogram box for £5.50. But per kilogram, the big box costs £5.50, while the small box costs £6.40. That is 90p wasted on what feels like a saving. Pensioners who train themselves to read the unit price first, every time, consistently cut between £3 and £6 off a weekly shop without changing a single product they buy. First, pattern break. Here is where things get clever. Loyalty point stacking is the trick supermarkets designed to benefit them, but which actually backfires if you play it right. Nectar points at Sainsbury's convert at a rate of 500 points to £2.50. But during double or triple point events, which happen roughly every 6 to 8 weeks, that same spend earns you £5 or £7.50 in points. The trick is timing your bigger purchases, cleaning products, toiletries, pet food, anything that does not expire quickly, to coincide with these bonus events. One pensioner in Dorset documented her system and showed she banked over £180 in Nectar points across a single year simply by shifting when she bought non-perishables. That is not extreme couponing, that is just paying attention. Number 17. The multi-buy that is not a deal. Supermarkets run multi-buy offers like buy 2 for £5 that look like bargains, but often are not. The trick is doing the maths right there in the aisle. If one pack costs £2.40, then 2 costs £4.80 at full price. The multi-buy at £5 is actually 50p more expensive. This happens more often than you think, especially on branded snacks, ready meals, and soft drinks. The unit price label exposes it every time. Yet the bright yellow promotional ticket distracts the eye, and the brain follows the assumption that multi-buy means cheaper. Catching just 2 false deals per shop saves between £1 and £3. It does not sound like much until you multiply it across 52 weeks. Number 16. the end-of-aisle trap avoidance. Supermarkets pay suppliers for end-of-aisle placement. Those big displays at the end of every row are not bargains. They are advertisements you walk through. Products on end caps are on average only 5 to 15% cheaper than their normal shelf price. And sometimes they are not reduced at all. They are simply moved to a high-traffic position to increase impulse purchases. The real discounts sit halfway down the aisle, at knee level, where the own-brand alternatives live. Pensioners who walk past every end cap and head straight for the middle shelves avoid between £3 and £5 of impulse spending per trip. The architecture of the supermarket is designed against you. Knowing that is the first step to beating it. Every detail from the flower display at the entrance to the bakery smell pumped through the ventilation system exists to make you spend more. The end cap is just the most obvious trick in a building full of them. Number 15. The quiet hour advantage. Most major supermarkets now run designated quiet hours. Reduced lighting, no tannoy announcements, calmer environment, originally designed for shoppers with autism or sensory sensitivities. But here is what nobody advertises. Quiet hours often overlap with staff restocking and repricing, which means yellow sticker reductions are being applied in real time while the store is nearly empty. Pensioners who shop during these windows, typically Tuesday or Wednesday mornings between 9 and 10 a.m., get first access to markdowns without the evening rush. Combine quiet hour timing with the yellow sticker strategy from number 24 and you are shopping a near-empty store full of reduced items before anyone else arrives. Number 14. The damaged packaging discount. If a tin is dented, a box is torn, or a label is partially ripped, you can ask for a reduction at the customer service desk. The product inside is perfectly fine, but the packaging damage means the store cannot sell it at full price. This is entirely legal under sale of goods legislation. Most staff will offer between 10 and 30% off without argument, because the alternative is marking it as waste at the end of the day. The trick is being polite, being specific, and pointing out the damage clearly. Some pensioners check every tin in the reduced section, finding ones that have been missed. A dented tin of tomatoes that was 80 pence becomes 50 pence. Do that across 5 items and you have saved a quiet £1.50 that nobody else thought to ask for. Number 13. The coupon stacking method. Supermarket coupons from different sources can often be combined on the same transaction. A manufacturer coupon from the newspaper, a digital coupon from the store app, and a loyalty card offer can all apply to the same item. Most shoppers use one or none. The trick is layering them. A tin of branded coffee with a 50 pence newspaper coupon, a club card price reduction of £1, and a manufacturer cashback offer of 75 pence through an app like Shopmium means that £5 50 pence tin costs you £3.25 pence. 1 or 2 stacked items per shop adds up to between £2 and £4 saved. It takes 5 minutes of preparation at the kitchen table with a cup of tea. That is a return most investments cannot match. Number 12. The own brand switch on staples. Supermarket own brand staples like flour, sugar, butter, tinned tomatoes, pasta, rice, and milk are manufactured in the same factories as branded versions. This is not conspiracy. It is public record. The same plants that produce branded goods run own label products on the same lines with different packaging. A kilogram of Tesco own brand plain flour and a kilogram of branded flour are functionally identical for 99% of uses. Switching just 10 staple items from branded to own brand saves between £4 and £7 per shop. That is over £300 a year on items where the difference is literally the label. Your grandmother did not buy branded flour. She bought flour. The concept of paying extra for a name on a paper bag would have baffled every woman who ever ran a post-war kitchen. We have been trained to associate brands with quality on products where quality is identical. The supermarkets love it. The brand owners love it. Your bank balance does not. Second pattern break. Now here is one that makes store managers genuinely uncomfortable. The Consumer Rights Act 2015 states that goods must match their description. If a shelf label says British chicken breast and the barcode scans a different product, that is a mismatch. If the promotional material says free range and the item in your hand says barn raised, that is a mismatch. You are entitled to the product as described at the price displayed. Pensioners who read labels carefully and compare them to shelf descriptions catch errors that most shoppers sleepwalk past. When challenged politely, customer service almost always honors the shelf price or provides the correct item. This is not being difficult. This is knowing the law. Number 10. The self-checkout bag area trick. At self-checkout, the bagging area scale monitors weight. If you bring your own heavy bag, the machine throws a tantrum before you have scanned your first item. The trick is to place your empty bag on the scale first, then press the start button. The machine registers your bag as the baseline weight, and every item scanned after that triggers no alerts. No waiting for approval. No staff intervention. No standing there with a queue building behind you while the light flashes orange. This saves time, not money directly, but time at the checkout means fewer impulse purchases from those strategically placed chocolate bars at eye level. And fewer impulse buys mean a lighter bill. Number 9. The freezer section timing strategy. Frozen food is reduced far less frequently than chilled goods because it has a longer shelf life. But here is what most people miss. Supermarkets rotate their freezer promotions on a roughly 6-week cycle. If frozen fish fingers are half price this week, they will return to full price for 5 weeks, then go on offer again. Smart pensioners keep a simple list on the fridge door noting what was on offer and when. When the cycle repeats, they buy enough to last until the next offer. 2 or 3 items bought this way save between £3 and £5 per cycle, and the freezer does all the work of keeping things fresh. Number 8. The bakery end of day ask. Most in-store bakeries bake fresh daily and reduce everything unsold by late afternoon. But not everything makes it to the reduced shelf. Some items, especially bread rolls, baguettes and pastries, get pulled and bagged for waste collection without ever being marked down. If you ask at the bakery counter after 4 p.m. whether anything is being reduced or removed, staff will often sell you items at a fraction of the price or occasionally give them away rather than bin them. A bag of 4 pain au chocolat that was £2 that morning might go for 30 pence. 2 crusty rolls for 10 pence. That is tomorrow's breakfast sorted for less than the cost of a stamp. The staff are not hiding this from you. They are simply not advertising it. There is no tannoy announcement saying free pastries at the back. You have to walk up, smile and ask. The worst they can say is no. And they almost never say no because the alternative is throwing perfectly good food into a bin bag while a pensioner watches. Number 7. The reward program price error exploit. Loyalty apps occasionally display glitched prices. A product showing 100 bonus points per item when it should show 10. A digital coupon that stacks with a club card price it was not meant to combine with. These errors happen because supermarket pricing systems are managed by thousands of different inputs and human mistakes are constant. The trick is checking the app every morning and snapping up anything that looks too good to be true before it gets corrected. These glitches typically last between 2 and 6 hours. Pensioners who check their Tesco or Sainsbury's app with their morning tea catch 1 or 2 a month. Each one saves between £1 and £5. Number 6. The loose produce over pre-packed swap. Pre-packed vegetables carry a premium for the convenience of packaging. A bag of 3 peppers costs £1.70. 3 loose peppers from the next shelf cost between £1.20 and £1.35 depending on weight. The same applies to carrots, onions, mushrooms and potatoes. The pre-packed version includes the cost of the plastic tray, the cellophane wrap, the label, and the labor to pack it. None of that makes the food taste better. Pensioners who buy loose and bring their own bags save between £2 and £4 per shop on vegetables alone. That is £100 a year on packaging you immediately throw in the bin. And here is the added benefit nobody mentions. When you buy loose, you pick exactly what you need. 2 carrots instead of a bag of 12 that go soft in the drawer by Wednesday. 1 pepper instead of 3 where the third one shrivels behind the milk. You waste less food, which means you waste less money twice over. Third pattern break. Here's the one pensioners email me about the most. The forgotten voucher drawer trick. Those paper vouchers that come printed on the back of your receipt, the ones for money off your next shop, have expiry dates of roughly 4 to 6 weeks. Most people fold the receipt, stuff it in a pocket, and forget. But those vouchers are essentially free money with a deadline. A £2 off when you spend £20 voucher used once a month is £24 a year. A £1.50 off meat voucher used 3 times is £4.50. The trick is keeping a small envelope in your handbag or coat pocket specifically for receipt vouchers and checking it before every shop. 5 minutes of organisation saves between £20 and £40 a year in vouchers that would otherwise end up in the washing machine. Number 4. The pharmacy and health aisle comparison. Supermarket pharmacies sell branded painkillers, cold remedies, and vitamins at enormous markups. A box of 16 branded ibuprofen tablets costs £2.50 or more. The supermarket's own brand equivalent, with the same 200 milligrams ibuprofen, same dosage, same active ingredient, costs 30p. That is not a slight difference. That is over 8 times the price for identical medicine. The same applies to antihistamines, paracetamol, and basic vitamins. By law, generic medicines must contain the same active ingredients in the same quantities as the branded version. Switching 5 pharmacy items from branded to own brand saves between £8 and £12 per month. That is over £100 a year on products that are chemically identical. Number 3. The pricing error double check at the till. Here is the loophole supermarkets have tried to close for years but cannot. When you self-scan and an item rings up at a different price than the shelf label, you have the right to pay the lower displayed price. But here is the part most people miss. If you notice the error after paying, you can still claim. Take your receipt to customer service within the same visit. Show the discrepancy. And most stores will refund the difference, plus give you the item free as a goodwill gesture. This policy is not advertised. It is not posted anywhere. But it exists in the training manuals of every major chain because the cost of a formal complaint to trading standards far exceeds the cost of 1 refunded tin of beans. Pensioners who check their receipts in the car park before driving home catch an average of 1 error every 3 or 4 shops. Each correction saves between £1 and £3. Number 2. The Delivery Saver Pass Timing Trick. Tesco, Sainsbury's, and Asda all offer Delivery Saver passes, a monthly fee for unlimited deliveries. The trick is signing up during promotional periods when the pass is discounted or offered with a free trial month. Tesco regularly offers the first month free. If you time your subscription to start at the beginning of a month and do 4 or 5 weekly shops, each delivery slot that normally costs between £2 and £7 is covered. That is up to £35 of delivery fees wiped out for a pass that costs between £4 and £8 a month. For pensioners who cannot easily get to the shops, this single trick saves between £15 and £25 monthly while eliminating the bus fare or petrol cost of getting there. Number 1. The receipt audit system. This is the single most effective trick on the entire list, and it costs nothing but 10 minutes once a week. Keep every receipt, every single one. At the end of the week, sit down with a cup of tea and go through them line by line. Circle anything that seems higher than expected. Check it against the shelf price on your next visit. Note which items fluctuate in price and which stay steady. Build a simple picture of what you actually spend versus what you think you spend. Pensioners who audit their receipts for the first time are consistently shocked. They find double-scanned items, promotions that did not apply, loyalty points that were not added, and prices that do not match what they saw on the shelf. The average pensioner who starts auditing receipts finds between £3 and £5 of errors or missed savings per week. That is between £150 and £250 a year, recovered from a weekly habit that takes less time than watching the news. Here is my challenge. Try 3 of these this week. Just 3. The receipt audit, the unit price check, and the own brand swap on your staples. Then come back and tell me what you found. Tell me if your Tesco bill dropped by a £5, or if Sainsbury's has been overcharging you on tomatoes for the last 6 months. Because every pensioner I've spoken to who started using even half this list saved at least £40 a month. Share which tricks you already knew in the comments and which ones made you check your last receipt. I want to know if anyone else has been paying 8 times over for the same paracetamol. Because these are not loopholes. They are your rights. The supermarkets know them. Now you do too.